Okay. I pretty much already ran my intro and everything, so I'll pretty much let you introduce yourself and we'll get started.
Oh, baby, you so juicy. Juicy, yeah, yeah. Do you mind if I slide? You like the way I work you out. I don't mind if you tease me now. My lady, you deserve a crown now. I like it when you take it to the ground. Do your dance, mommy. Yes. Honey, I like the way you work for me. The way you move your ass got me going down. You got it, girl, you got it.
Okay. I am Abby Haute. I have a YouTube channel where we talk about fetishes, all kinds of fetishes. It is at Fet Talk is the YouTube channel. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and here we are.
How long you been doing the, I would say, is it like coaching?
So what?
I said, how long is it that you've been online doing this? Is it like coaching or is it just like sharing experiences or?
A little bit of both. I've been doing this for about 2 years, a little over 2 years. What actually started out as a smoking fetish channel kind of turned into a all kinds of fetish channel. I have people send me emails wanting to share their stories with their fetishes and kinks, and also asking questions and looking for advice. So kind of a little bit of both that.
Okay. So real quick to get into it, you would say nowadays, are you single or are you in a relationship?
I'm married.
Married? For how long?
Yeah. How long? Well, this is my second marriage, so about 8 years.
8 years? Okay, that's still good. How long were you, I guess you would say single for in between marriages?
About 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got married pretty fast, being like you're single for 2 years, and then how long were you guys together before you guys got married with your current husband?
Like a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say for you guys and your guys' experience, I mean, 8 years is pretty longer than most common marriages that are lasting nowadays. So, trigger points for you. Trigger points for you guys. Would you guys say that you guys moved too fast, or would you guys say like slow is the better pace?
Slower with a better pace. I think I'll be real honest. In the beginning, I was very hesitant to get remarried. But my husband now is very different from my first husband.
Okay.
Very much. He was very much a narcissist.
Okay.
However, we'll let that lay where it is. But yeah, he was very comfortable with and very understanding, that I needed to go through this whole grief process, very supportive, gave me my space when I needed it and everything else. So something I never had before.
Could you give us just two key points on why your relationship lasts and is better now compared to your last?
I learned a lot through going through my divorce, a lot about myself and what I want in a relationship. I have learned some things not to do, some things to do. I also looked back and was able to reflect on myself a little bit and realized that when I initially got married, I was sort of young. I was 22 at the time. So in reflecting back on that and talking through some things, I realized that I probably should have never married when I did. And I think I got married for all the wrong reasons at that point in time.
Okay. I think experience and age had a lot to do with that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, lack of experience.
Well, yeah, lack of experience for sure. I mean, I was very hasty to get out of my mom's house, I guess, at that time. It was kind of to the point where she was just driving me crazy, don't let me live my own life. And I was like, one way or another, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like a meal ticket.
Yeah, the opportunity presented itself, and I took it.
You guys were around the same age, or he's older? Or?
Yes, we were the same age.
Okay.
He was a little older, a couple months older, but yeah.
Okay. Currently now being in the fetish realm and everything, is it your idea? You ran it across like your husband, or you guys work together as a team and this is like something you guys do together? Like he backs you up, like there's no problems, no boundaries that you guys have to have while doing this?
He is very supportive of me doing my content.
Okay.
He actually kind of sort of had the idea and brought it up.
Okay.
So yeah, and I initially began to thinking this is just crazy, that I'm not gonna do this. This is nuts, but but it's kind of the way of the world now, and I have fun doing it. I enjoy interacting with people. Still kind of throws me back a little bit and makes me a little humble to think that, I communicate with people all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, I still just view myself as this, normal, average, everyday person. I have a 9-to-5 job. I have kids. I have a husband. I don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What people that have these fetishes that come to you with stories or questions and stuff like that, are most of these people single, or are they in relationships and they're all these questions and kinks that they're telling you, like they're bottled up and they can't tell their significant other?
They are a variety of people as far as age goes, as far as being married, single, dating, what have you. And a lot of them do ask how to approach their partner to indulge in the fetishes that they are interested in indulging in. I get a lot of people interested in the cuckolding lifestyle.
More of the women or more of the men?
More the men, actually.
Actually want to see they want to see their partner, or they just want to see another woman doing?
They want to see their partner engaging in that with them, with another man. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot more common than I thought it would ever be. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just because I talk about it and I'm so out in the open about it. I don't have any qualms about, speaking to it.
Where do you find that? Where do you find that kink comes from? Is it from like their woman is more masculine and dominant, or they just want to see their? I guess you would say they want to see their partner be explicit with somebody else.
A little bit of both. A lot of times men that engage in that lifestyle or like the hot wifing lifestyle, a lot of times you'll find that these are men who have to be in control. in their everyday lives. They're in, high positions or, where they have to be in control, have the say over everything, very stressful lives in all aspects. So a lot of them find engaging in cuckolding to be a release for that. It's a way that they can, a safe space that they can be submissive and lose that control, release that control in that part of their life. It is definitely a dominant submissive type fetish lifestyle. So it's definitely some role playing, exchanging of power there, and for men that like that, and of course women who like that, like to, venture from the traditional female role. That is a good fit for a lot of people.
Okay. Does this come across that would you recommend before they even experience that type of lifestyle, that they maybe dabble into maybe more like a swinger type of like world, maybe like versus like just jumping right into like allowing your woman to see another man?
Well, what I usually suggest, because a lot of times the men don't really want to be with another female, oddly enough, because you hear the every man wants to be with another woman sort of thing. But oddly enough, they don't want to be with another female. They just want to see their partner getting pleased by another man.
Is it anywhere within them that they feel that they might be lacking, or they're not confident that they're actually pleasing their partner?
To some extent, yeah. But I think that's like a submissive type thing. A big difference in cuckolding versus like hot wifing or stag vixen type lifestyle. They're all really close. However, with cuckolding, there's an element of humiliation. The male wants to be humiliated to some varying degree by their female partner and their bull, and they find arousing. It turns them on. So, yeah.
And then what is the difference? Can you break it down for me? So I understand what the cuckolding is. What's hot wife?
Hot wife is very similar. The male actually plays. There is no humiliation factor. That's not a part of it. The husband or the male partner usually wants to be involved in the woman going out and finding their this other male partner, their bull. They, will tell them, go out to the club, pick up a guy, bring him home, or go out to the club, hook up with a guy and come home and tell me about it. Or they will sit back in the corner of a club and watch their partner, engage in this and do this.
Okay.
So that's a little similar, but a little bit different. There's some different nuances with that. Same thing with a stag vixen lifestyle. The vixen, it's like cuckolding. However, there's absence of the humiliation factor.
Okay. And how does it differ?
Just that, the wife has another partner. The male is seeing his partner pleased by another man, be it they're sitting in the same room and he's just
watching.
enjoying watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or be it, they're up in the female partner and her bull are up in, the bedroom, and the husband is downstairs watching TV on the couch.
Just being within the same presence.
Right. Right.
Okay. And so these are, I guess, 3 things that are fetishes that are really popular and growing.
They've actually been around for centuries, but I think with social media, the internet, things of that nature,
I've been hearing
and
that
just
the
the way
cuckold's getting real popular. Well, the word popular, they always use it with the concept of a beta male, I guess.
Right. And I think that because there's more access to it, it seems as though it's getting more popular. However, it's been around for a very long time.
Okay. And then you share experiences with the stories, or are you just rereading the people's stories that they submit to you? Or what type of advice do you give on that type of
Both. I will read people's stories, give advice, speak to what they're asking about. I do input my personal experiences with that.
Okay.
Because my husband and I do engage in the hot wifing
okay.
Lifestyle. So yeah.
So briefly,
I do share some personal experiences as well.
Can you pretty much for the subscribers, somebody who might hear this and you know what, I've always wanted to do that, how could you coach him? What steps should he take to bringing it to his wife? How could he bring that up?
Basically, I would tell them to start off with a very open and honest conversation. Set some time aside to have a, one-on-one, no distractions, sort of conversation. And don't be afraid to tell your partner what it is that you're wanting or looking for. The worst they're going to say is no. And I will be real honest. They might be pleasantly surprised that their partner is a lot more receptive to that than they may think.
And in your case, did at any time did you feel like he wants to see me with another man? Does he not want me? Did it make you feel any less about your relationship? That he wants to share you?
Yes.
Okay.
From the female point of view, it all kind of started with us discussing, our sexual bucket list.
Yeah.
And things that we maybe had thought about trying or wanting to try and never had. And one of the things that I wanted to try was being with 2 men.
Okay.
And as soon as that came out of my mouth, he was all on board. He's like, let's do it.
Okay.
And I thought, okay. But as time came closer to actually doing that, I thought, oh my God, what is this going to do to our marriage? What is this going to do to our relationship? And I'm thinking, holy crap, this is the end. This is his way of telling me we're over.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to find somebody else for me to attach onto so that he can bolt. All these crazy things went through my head. I was very nervous, very hesitant, thinking he's going to think all these different things of me. He's not going to love me the same. And then after we actually did that,
was he part of it, or he just watched?
He was a part of it.
Okay.
The first time. And then after that, he introduced me. He's like, well, you guys have fun and I'll just kind of hang out over here. sort of thing. And I thought, oh man, okay, I had my one and done. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you want me to do what?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, okay. And he just kept kind of nudging me to do it. And I did it. And after the bull left, we did our thing. And, he asked me to tell him everything and
Mm-hmm.
what happened. And, was it good? And did you like it? And oddly enough, it was the exact opposite of what I thought it would be.
Good or
like
bad?
I felt, pardon?
I said in a good way or a bad way?
In a good way.
Okay.
In a good way. I felt as though our relationship was stronger.
Okay.
I felt like our love for each other just kind of went to a whole new, unimaginable level,
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was strange, and I had a hard time wrapping my head around it. And I thought, wow, this is crazy, because I was so fearful
Mm-hmm.
to even engage in this from day one. And, here we are, and this is totally taken it to some place I never thought possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So
I was pleasantly surprised.
Prior to you guys engaging in the lifestyle and after, when it becomes one-on-one with you guys, like, did it enhance the bedroom? Like, is it better? Like, did it make things, obviously the connection between you guys are better, you guys more tighter, you guys trust each other and stuff like that, I understand that, but like the actual physical part, like, did it make that better because he's turned on by what you did, like, type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
And especially in that way for me, because I'm very much a pleaser. So me being able to turn him on even more turns me on even more.
Okay.
So we kind of like feed off of each other in that aspect.
Okay. Being in this work industry, like, I was like, that like women complain about men's behavior and how they thirsty and they just, go above and beyond what it is to actually gain sex. Do you think that making it so accessible with the internet makes it difficult to control the guy's behavior?
As far as like cheating goes, or
I would say cheating.
I do. It makes it way too easy. Yeah, I've seen people break up marriages, end up in divorce
Okay.
over, someone just chatting
Mm-hmm.
with someone, kind of having an emotional relationship, so to speak.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Being like in this fetish world, how often does the other partner even know about these fetishes? Is it like usually like just a secret, or half of the time the other partner knows?
A lot of times they don't know, because the person who wants it is embarrassed and intimidated to say anything to their partner.
Okay.
For fear that they're going to leave or they're going to be judged. So yeah, a lot of times it goes unsaid. And then that person never really feels like they've been sexually fulfilled.
Okay.
Because they can't engage in these. Just even with the smoking fetish, I've had people tell me, I watch your videos, I watch you smoke. My wife doesn't know because she would be very upset. It would cause a fight. It would cause trouble. And I think, yeah, maybe you should talk to her about that.
So let's explain, what's a smoke fetish? They just like to see you smoke?
Yes.
They just
Oddly enough.
just watching you smoke.
Yes. As crazy as that may sound, for a lot of men, it's a phallic thing. For some men, it's kind of like an Oedipus complex thing where, their mother or their aunt or their mother's friend when they were younger, and in those formative years smoked, and they relate it to that, and they relate it to love and comfort and things of that nature, and fetishes in general. That's kind of how they rear their head in adulthood, is by something that's happened to you in your formative years, that just rears its head as some sort of fetish.
Okay. Which, since you started, what's the most surprising fetish that you like, that actually shocked you?
That shocked me?
Yeah, that you didn't know existed. Like that's a fetish.
Gosh. You know what? The one, I will say this, okay, because I actually have a few people who are smoking fetishers that ask me this all the time. They ask me if they can be my ashtray.
Really?
In the most literal sense that sounds, yes. I have one gentleman that actually has sent me pictures. He invites female friends to his home. He made this table like a coffee table or what have you, and cut out a hole in the middle of it and sent me pictures of his mouth up to this hole with ashes in it and around it. And he invites his female friends over to smoke and ash in his mouth.
Interesting.
It's the craziest thing.
Okay. What about for women? What's actually, like, I'm sure you have men and women that you deal with, but what's the, like, most 3 common things that women are fetishes with?
I don't really have too many women, at least that communicate with me. I do have quite a few couples that communicate with me. But one person in particular, I have like a whole playlist of their little story. This woman emailed me asking me about the smoking fetish. She had found all these smoking videos on her boyfriend's laptop, and also found my videos, links to my videos on his laptop. So she inquired about it, and she's kind of gotten into that for him. And again, she's like, it's taken things to a whole new level. And they engage more in the FLR, female-led relationship type kink. Basically, it's a switch in roles. The female is in charge, and
like
some people kind of, yeah, but a lot of people adapt it into their actual everyday life. Yeah, and I mean, she's told me about stuff where she's like had her girlfriends over and had her now husband, serving them drinks and lighting their cigarettes or cigars, and she's in a club and just all these things. And she actually even put her husband in chastity, male chastity. So yeah.
Okay.
It's like become a whole story with them. So yeah.
So to speak from the women's side, how common is it that a man would think, either whether his girl or somebody he wants to be with, how common is it for a woman's fantasy to be with two dudes?
To be in what?
To engage sexually with two dudes, pretty much at the same time. Is that pretty much like a threesome? Is that common for women? Like, women don't say it because they believe they're embarrassed or shameful. They think guys will say something, but like, is that something that that you think majority women do or don't? That's like on the bucket list for them.
I don't know, quite honestly. I would think that more women than not do at least fantasize about that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they engage in it or not is something totally different.
Mm-hmm. But you do think it's most women's fantasy? It's a common fantasy, basically? I
think so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what woman doesn't want to be pleased by multiple men?
I mean, I think most women trying to hide it and trying to be, I would not say like prude about it, but just to be like, act like, no, like that's not, I wouldn't want to be with two guys at the same time. Like, it's like a shameful thing.
I think that I don't think it's as socially acceptable, so to speak. I don't know. Although, cuckolding, I've had people tell me, this is not an alpha male. He's a wimp. He's, this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, clearly it's not for you.
Yeah. And then,
but yeah, I think it's just been talked about so much by men over the years, and men have made no qualms about letting them know, women know that they want to be with two women. That it's kind of like women want to do this too. It's just kind of held back a little more, I think, because it's not viewed as acceptable.
Okay. Would you recommend for men to experience this lifestyle by themselves first before they get in a relationship? Or would you recommend if somebody already has these type of fetishes, once he's getting in a relationship, to let that other person know right away?
I mean, I would not necessarily say right away. Once they feel comfortable opening up to someone they're dating or seeing, for sure. Yeah, I mean, if it's something you want, can't be afraid to ask for it, otherwise you're never going to get it.
Okay. In your case, like, did either of you guys have experience with this lifestyle prior to being with each other, or?
No.
No?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay. And so you initiated, you pretty much spoke, like brought up the subject, and then it just opened it up from there.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. If you would have never said anything, do you think your husband would have ever mentioned anything?
Probably not.
No?
Well, no, I take that back, because I had mentioned it to my first husband before, but he was very vanilla, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And being in this content world, are you more successful like off of like separate websites, or do you do everything on YouTube, or do you have like other platforms like where you're able to give like more details, be more explicit? Like, obviously we know YouTube has its rules, so.
Yeah. I do have other platforms. I am on OnlyFans, and I do have a Pornhub site, and a clips for sale site. Majority of my stuff is on YouTube. Okay. I do have, the typical social media that I get on every now and then, X and Facebook and Insta and things like that. But
okay,
yeah, most of my content is on YouTube or at least the semi-clean content.
Are you able to do the smoke fetishes on YouTube, or do they trip about that content?
Am I able to do what kind of fetishes?
Like the smoke fetish, like just pretty much smoke on YouTube. Do they?
Yeah, I do. All of my videos I smoke in, either that or I vape in. I'm not allowed to draw attention to it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that, and some of my videos are, age restricted, but,
Okay.
you try to work around it as best you can.
Being in this lifestyle and somebody who wants to, and for somebody outside trying to get in, like where would you recommend? Like, are there like websites they can find and connect with people? Do they use like Facebook or something? Or?
Oh my gosh, everywhere.
It's so crazy that you say like everywhere, but like I know the basic vanilla person, that's living a regular life, that they probably never knew that stuff existed. Like,
I actually did a video on YouTube about this. I mean, you can go to there's a website called FetLife. Yeah, there's Swinger Zone Central, where you can find swingers and people like cuckolding, hot wife type relationships. I think there's another swinger one, and the name of it escapes me right now. But you can go onto Facebook and type in, hot wives, blah, 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 near wherever you live.
And this is like in like the marketplace section? Or? No. Like groups or community?
There's groups. Yeah, in the groups, yeah. You can do that on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you use like Kick, that chat website Kick, you can find them there. If you use Telegram, you can find them there.
So every platform has like a little community for.
Yeah, there's also one that I found. It was like a whole big thing. It was called the Ashley Madison Affair, where you can go and find someone basically to cheat on your spouse with. And yeah, it was crazy. And I guess several years ago, someone like leaked the whole list of the names of people on there, and relationships were just trashed because they found their spouse cheating off of this website. But it's still in existence. You can go on there and do it on the CL if you want.
Okay. Being that both you and your husband and other couples and stuff like that, they actually engage, they're acknowledging and stuff like that. Can you just give me your lifestyle and your guys' mindset? What would, at this point right now, what would be considered cheating for you and your husband? What's okay and what's not?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think if it became emotional to some extent, or I started to see where, one of us favored someone else over the other, over each other, that would definitely be an issue. Or if we didn't, if we did it on the fly and didn't tell each other about being involved with someone else, that was like one of our biggest rules. He can grab my phone anytime time and see who I'm talking to, and vice versa. You know, I will never have anyone over without his knowledge, whether he's here or not.
Okay.
No one will ever be here without him knowing, and vice versa. Or I will never go out with someone without his knowledge,
Okay.
and vice versa. So, you know, just keeping everything on the up and up, I think if it turned from that would probably be an issue for sure.
Okay. And lastly, could you explain or just define, like from your point of view, like people who have these fetishes, do you see it being a problem if they never seek outward and be able to find like these type of websites and be able to experience this stuff and always keep it mental and always have like mental thoughts? Like, do you think it triggers the other stuff, or do you think like that it needs to be like release it pretty much? Like,
I think that I would think that it would have to depend on how intense that desire is for them. You know, because there are things that I won't do that, you know, my husband wants to do that I just won't. And, you know, he's okay with that, and vice versa. You know, it's, you're in a relationship, it's going to be give and take. You know, and you yourself, knowing yourself, I would hope that someone would know before they even get to a point of marriage, you know, what's going to be a deal breaker. You know, it's like, you know, saying, well, you leave the kitchen cabinet doors open and that is a total deal breaker for me, you know, sort of thing. I mean, I know that's trivial and ridiculous, but, you know, you got to know your limits and your desires, and whether those desires need fed or it's something that you can live without.
Okay. And lastly, if you could share, what is the most, like, I guess, wild request that you got, say, being like on your OnlyFans? Like, can you make me a video doing this? Like, the fetish request was like, whoa. Like,
I would have to, oh my gosh. I know I've had people ask me about foot fetish stuff, and for me, feet, they're not my thing. That just
so
feet,
the feet thing is like a ick.
Yeah. You know, I've had people ask me to do videos with like kind of like the femdom look or the femme fatale look, and have a gun in the video. And no, not gonna make videos like that. I did have someone actually that I did make the videos for, custom videos. He wanted me to have cell phones in the video as a part of the video. He even went as far as to send me some fake looking iPhones that he got off of Amazon. He had two of them, very specific OtterBox cases, and he wanted them clipped to my waist in the video. It was, I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, but hey.
But, man, that's something for everybody, I swear.
Yes, there is. Endless. There really, truly is. Yep.
Okay. Lastly, can you tell them where to find you?
Where to find me? Well, definitely on YouTube. My handle there is @FetTalk. You can find me on OnlyFans, Abby Haute, or Clips for Sale. You can find me on Instagram. I go on there most to chat. Facebook and X, I do have. Just look up Abby Haute and you'll find me. I'm not as active on those as I am on Instagram, at least for talking and chatting with people.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I thank you again. Appreciate you doing the show.
Oh, sure. Thank you for having me. It was fun.
And I'll make sure I'll connect you on all social media, like links and stuff like that, especially like the YouTube, because I know it helps us both with the algorithm. So.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, everybody, go follow her and remember to be respectful. She's married.
Oh, that's okay. I don't offend easily at all, so you're good.
Okay. Thanks again. We'll talk to you again soon. Right.